earlier today, there was another trade in the NBA, and at first glance, it's not going to seem like something that is going to change pretty much anything. However, this is actually one, in my opinion, that is insanely underrated. According to multiple NBA sources, the Dallas Mavericks are getting Quentin Grimes. In return, they are sending out Tim Hardaway Jr. and 3 second-round picks. In this video, I wanted to break down some film and show you exactly what the Dallas Mavericks are getting in Quentin Grimes, but more importantly, why I think is insanely underrated pickup for them, and also could definitely be a big-time upgrade down the line. Don't you worry, I'm going to explain everything in a second because, again, I know you guys are like, dude, it's Quentin Grimes. What is this going to do for us, right? We're going to get there in a second. Before we jump into the video and break down some Quentin Grimes film, I need you guys to do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. It is free, doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Dallas Mavericks throughout the entirety of the offseason, free agency, training camp, preseason, regulars, everything, right? We got you guys covered. Join the family and comment down below a letter grade for their draft and offseason so far, but also, what do you think the Dallas Mavericks need to do next? With that being said, let's dive into Quentin Grimes and why he is a good fit for the Mavericks. Now, one of my favorite things about Quentin Grimes as a player is his unselfishness, right? Something we saw with the Boston Celtics, and again, I'm sorry to bring this up because the finals seems like it was just a week ago, right? But the Boston Celtics figured out a style of play where they kept moving the basketball and were able to play as a team, right? Now, the Dallas Mavericks kind of got into the situation where they were just ISO heavy, right? Pick and roll, switch onto the Celtics' worst defender, and Kyrie and Luka would pretty much do everything themselves. However, I think what they're trying to implement into this team next year is finding a way to play more team-oriented basketball. Now, Quentin Grimes is a guy who can do exactly that, while Tim Hardaway is more of a guy who is ISO, right? Give me the ball and let me go to work, which is another reason why he didn't even really be or was able to play that much during the playoffs, because they already have those guys in Kyrie, they have Luka, and they also have a young developing player in Jaden Hardy who they wanted to give a lot of experience to as well. Now, on this play specifically, we're going to see Quentin Grimes drive into the baseline. He's going to draw weak side rotation here by DeAndre Ayton, but what is to notice is the pass that he makes, right? The read. Understanding the court mapping ability to understand where his guys are, where the rotation is going to come from here. As Ayton steps up, he's going to fake, go up with it, and find Mitchell Robinson pretty much wide open underneath the basket for an easy dunk. In Dallas, you have guys who are very similar to Mitchell Robinson and Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, and they're going to be able to do similar things like this. I think Quentin Grimes does a really good job reading the floor, reading the defense, understanding defensive rotation, and knowing who is going to be open. So right away, the passing ability is something that stands out to me, you know, at first look. But that's not the only thing. Now, probably the most underrated thing about Quentin Grimes, and one of the major reasons I think not only he'll be a big-time player for them come playoff time, but also I think he could potentially even be a day one starter because his versatility as a defender. Now, this play specifically, we're going to get the ball to Mikal Bridges, okay? Now, this was back in 2023, so a year before Mikal was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, right? So, Mikal Bridges is going to drive into the lane and just watch what Quentin Grimes is able to do here. Watch defensively how, you know, bad leverage there, has to get back in front of Mikal Bridges, keeps his, you know, feet moving laterally, and look at this play. Gets up into the air and sends this ball out of bounds. This is an unbelievable play by Quentin Grimes, right? Because he overcommits to the right side, doesn't jump for the pump fake, and then gets back into position defensively on Mikal Bridges, who is a very good shot creator in the mid, in the mid area. And again, unbelievable defensive play. I think his 6'5" frame, 6'6" frame at times as well, if he's wearing the right shoes, right? I think that alone is something that gives them versatility. A guy who can switch onto multiple different positions, 1 through 3, sometimes even 1 through 4 if you're playing the Boston Celtics and they have a guy like Jason Tatum playing their big man, which is something they did a lot in this series or in the finals because they want to eliminate the pick and roll. But Quentin Grimes is a guy who can switch onto multiple different positions and make a difference. So that is one of the biggest things, right? The passing ability of Quentin Grimes and the defensive versatility, that dynamic, definitely is a massive upgrade from, pretty much what Tim Hardaway brought to this team. On this play specifically, drives into the lane and makes a very nice scoop layup over Doug McDermott. Another reason I like him, gets into the paint and is able to either facilitate or get a tough bucket inside the painted area, whether, after he reads what the defense wants to do. Again, I think this is a really good fit. Now, before we get any further into the video and break down even more film on Quentin Grimes, I'm going to need you guys to do me a favor. Join the family if you haven't already done so, man. We're going to be covering the Knicks all year long. Everything you need to know, got you guys covered. Let's jump back into the film. All right, here's another play that I wanted to show you guys as well. We're going to see that Giannis quickly shifts gears here. He's going to go from jogging to sprint, right? He's going to just change that gear. And once Quentin Grimes understands and knows what he's trying to do here, he's going to smartly send the double team, forcing Giannis into a tough situation, having to get into the lane, and boom, ready? Swats the ball down, gets a big time steal, a guy who is going to make plays defensively, right? And that is huge in the NBA. We talk about, right, the ability of the Mavericks to throw up a lob and get a big momentum swing. But on the other end, they need more steals. They need more turnovers, more blocks, right? And Quentin Grimes is a guy who can do that at a 6'5" height, a 6'5" frame, right? This is something that is going to be vastly important, valuable to the Dallas Mavericks and their playoff run next season, if they're able to get back and do it again, right? And people, I already see people nervous, but why are we sending 3 third round or 3 second round picks, whatever it may be, right? Who cares about second round picks? At the end of the day, it's about winning championships. And Quentin Grimes is a guy that gets you a little bit better, in my opinion anyway. Maybe you guys completely disagree, but watch here again on this play. Halliburton beats Quentin Grimes early, but then Quentin Grimes makes up for it. Watch how he overcommits to this go screen, right? He's going to try to get over the screen before Tyrese Halliburton to wall him off and force him back inside instead of outside. Again, that's really good. However, Halliburton reads it, gets back inside quickly. He's got to make up some ground and again swats the ball out of his hands and gets another big time steal. Again, he can guard ones, he can guard twos, he can guard threes, sometimes even fours, depending on who it is, right? So I think Quentin Grimes' versatility defensively and also the playmaking ability is very, very valuable, especially for this new look Dallas Mavericks team who's probably going to make even more moves going forward. If they can get a guy like Jeremy Grant as well, I said it earlier, I think he would be a massive 3-and-D fit, someone who can, sit in the corner, play within a role, play good defense, but also be a playmaker at times as well. I think he would be another really, really good fit here. Watch this play as Julius Randle trying to force up a bad shot, gonna throw it back over to Quentin Grimes. And now, again, the ability to put the ball on the floor and create your own shot at times is something a lot of guys at the wing position can't really do. Another great finish around the basket for Quentin Grimes there. Again, this dude is going to be a very underrated pickup for Dallas. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in terms of Quentin Grimes is the three-point shooting ability. Throughout his career so far, shooting about 37% from three, which isn't bad at all. It's actually pretty good, and I think he's got room to grow here. He gets his guy to punt or jump up in the air. He's going to sidestep a three while moving at the end of the shot clock and ends up getting it to go. If this guy can become a solid, consistent three-point shooter, and I'm saying 37, 38% from three is good enough for me and good enough for the Dallas Mavericks. I think the 3-and-D aspect and the passing ability, the IQ as a basketball player is something that is extremely underrated. And to me, I love this pickup for the Dallas Mavericks. I think they go a little bit away from the ISO-heavy basketball. Tim Hardaway barely played in the playoffs. And also now add a guy who's more team-oriented, can pass, can defend, and can shoot threes as well. To me, this is a really good pickup for Dallas.